Cape Comorin, the very end of India, where the earth ends and the sea begins. It was here that the great philosopher Swâmî Vivekânanda meditated. He believed in self-realization and service to the world. The statue of Tiruvalluvar, the divine poet. The memorial of Mahatma Gandhi and the shelf. Then I return to the sunset point, which is next to the pedestal of the Virgin Mary. In the village, the Fishermans hustle bustle next to a building that looks like a former colonial trading post. The perspective from the Bay of Bengal. From the memorial of Vivekananda with Our Lady of Ransom Church at the end. Well, now I follow my trip with the blessing of this gorgeous Alpizia. Rameshwaram is considered one of the holiest places in India, together with Varanasi. Pilgrims from everywhere come here to wash their sins in these sacred waters. But it's also an island with a large community of fishermen.
ஓஸ் பயங்கரப்படுறானே.
அங்க வாடி அவரு ஆட்டோக்காரர் பயங்கரம் மோசிட்டு இருக்கிறாரு.
Here in the north of the island, I found this traditional community where I learned to be a local fisherman, in a very different conception of time that runs much lower. Rameshwaram Island is the Indian side of the Andaman Bridge. That is a natural chain of sandbanks that unites India to Sri Lanka. After the end of the roads, on an amazing trip over seawater on this rare bus, I arrived finally to the end of the island, just 40 kilometers to Sri Lanka. On the left, the soft waters of Palk Bay, and on the right, the Gulf of Mannar with small waves. Point Calimere is a place on the Indian coast that separates the Palk Bay from the Bay of Bengal. There is a lighthouse marking that point to help the navigation. But it's also the name of the protected area around, a wildlife and bird sanctuary created in the 60s for conservation of the blackback antelope, one of the 4 endemic species of antelope in India. It's also home for a large variety of birds and other species. There are 35 resident species of birds, but more than 100 migrate through these 15 square kilometers of tropical dry evergreen forest. It seems that the term Point Calimere appears when the Portuguese traders built a trading post in the nearby town Nagapatinam in 1554. In Portuguese, cálido means warm and mar means sea. Cálido mar may have evolved to Calimere, although that sounds French to me. Animals and birds are very easy to spot here, like these bonnet monkeys or this blackback antelope, even the peacock or the peregrine falcon. By the beach of Kodikarai near the new lighthouse, on those huts of coconut leaves and mud, lives a community of Ambalakars, a tribal community collapsing with the modern times. The village of Kodikarai was not much happier. These pictures say all there is to say. After 3 days eating fish curry, the only dish of the only restaurant only for lunch, I decided I could not take any more. Farewell to the birds, to the Indian antelope, and to all others for the sympathy. Mahabalipuram is a small fisherman village located in the Coromandel coast of the Bengal Bay. Nowadays, many people come to enjoy the sweet waters and the golden sand. But for me, the main attractions are the sculptures on the rocks. This one is named the Descent of the Ganges. And it's one of the largest open-air rock reliefs in the world. The site has more than 40 ancient monuments and Hindu temples. The majority of sculptures were made in 7th and 8th century. The group of monuments is UNESCO World Heritage Site. Monkeys still live here in harmony with people and gods. Not far to the south, the five Ratas temple. Ratas means chariots, so it means that these temples have the shape of chariots. Another example of the monolithic Indian rock-cut architecture. The city was one of the major ports by the 7th century within the Pallava kingdom. Along with economic prosperity, it became a center of a group of religious monuments carved out of the rock. The birds brought the night, and I left the mountain and the temples and went to the center of the city. Another busy day, but my mind was peaceful like the water. Further down to the south, I went to a small village where I made some fishermen friends. This place was really surprised, appalled. The megalithic site, the endless sea, and the remarkable sunsets. These are the houses of the Toda people. They are a small tribal community who lives in the isolated Nilgiri plateau in hill country southern India. Traditionally, they live on these settlements called mans, consisting of 3 to 7 small huts located across the slopes of the pasture, on which they keep the domestic buffalo, base of their economy. The Toda people coexisted with other ethnic communities, like the Kota, the Badaga, and the Kuruba, some of many existing in the area. Polyandry, a form of polygamy on which a woman takes 2 or more husbands at the same time, was fairly common. However, this practice has now been totally abandoned. The Toda culture restoration has been the focus of an international effort. The Toda lands are now part of the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. Their territory was declared UNESCO World Heritage Site. These are now images of the mountain railway of Nilgiri. Built by the British in 1908, uses Swiss-made Model X steam locomotives that gives a unique character to the line. Three and a half hours going down in one amazing trip on the surroundings of the Nilgiri Bioreserve. Works on the railway forced us to stop a good 20 minutes. Precious time to appreciate in greater detail the endless beauty of the surrounding landscape. The lush rainforest. Here there are more than 100 species of mammals, including the tiger, the Indian leopard, and the black panther. popular mountain resort located in the Nilgiri Mountains or Blue Mountains. With an altitude above 2000 meters, the maximum temperature is around 20 degrees, contrasting clearly with the normal temperatures of the southern plains of India. So they have always been used as mountain resorts to escape the heat of summer. The natural environment attracts many travelers. The diversity of flora is one of the most important in the world. After the 2,500 meters, the air was difficult to breathe. With the night coming, I thought it was wiser to go back down to the village in the valley below. religious architecture are the last things worthy of registration, because the village itself is no more than a few bland houses pressed by the slopes around a hippodrome.